who is going to see transit on their ballot. All of Macomb County, all of Oakland County, and parts of Wayne County should all look for public transit on their ballot. What exactly is on the ballot? Very important question. Well, there's going to be a lot on this year's ballot, but the one we're most interested in is the county public transportation millages. Basically, what's on the ballot is the funding to operate smart buses and local paratransit providers. So if you believe that we should keep the buses rolling, that people should be able to get to jobs and schools and appointments in stores, then you need to support the county public transportation millages. Well, it's important to remember that we all depend on someone who depends on transit, whether it's your kid's daycare worker, the person making your coffee or your lunch at your favorite restaurant, if it's the nurse or the janitor at the hospital that you might surprisingly need to go to. We really learned during COVID, essential workers. There's an awful lot of people for whom we all depend on throughout our daily lives. And studies found that more than a third of those folks are transit riders. They depend on the bus to get where they need to go. The other thing is you never know when you might need transit. Any one of us could be one broken foot, one broken axle away from needing a ride, even just occasionally. I met a gentleman whose car broke down the same day his wife's did, but luckily he was able to hop on the bus and still get where he needed to go. Will this raise taxes in Macomb County? The answer is no. This is purely a renewal in Macomb County, the Macomb County Public Transportation Millage, purely a renewal, and technically it's a small decrease from a 0.99 mil to a 0.95, but ultimately you're not paying any additional costs, and you're just keeping the smart buses rolling and ensuring people can get where they need to go all across Macomb County. There's a lot of areas that have a lot of people and don't have public transit services. These routes, these lines show where the public transit is now, and it covers a lot of important areas, but there are major destinations in places like Rochester, Waterford, Novi, and elsewhere where there are tens of thousands of people, but if you don't drive, you can't go. The other reason is our population is aging. Everywhere in the county, there are seniors, there are people with disabilities who need rides and shouldn't be limited by their own little township borders. So that's why we need to expand transit throughout all of Oakland County. A lot of it is about expanding what works into more places. So we would see more buses taking more people to more places, certainly air connecting to places like downtown Rochester, possibly all the way up to Oxford or Clarkston, or not stopping at the Novi border, connecting into Novi, South Lyon. And it's more than just the big buses. It's also the services for seniors, for people with disabilities, everywhere in the county, to make sure people have mobility, and the flex rides, the door-to-door type services. It's about making sure everyone has options to get where they need to go.